Hello, people. Welcome to the first Premier League review show of the season. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe to the propaganda machine. So, we start with the Butlers, innit? Yesterday's game, Tottenham vs Leicester, 1-1. Goals from Pedro Porro and Jamie Vardy. So Tottenham started the first half amazing. It's probably the best first half I've seen from any team in the Premier League this season. You had Maddison pulling the strings. They had corner after corner. It was just total domination. I think it was something like 10 shots to 1, and the one shot Leicester had was somewhere around the halfway line. So they were just getting battered. It could have been 3, 4. It could have been a serious battering. You were fearing, could it be 9-0 all over again? But Tottenham, they didn't make the most of their chances. Solanke, very wasteful on his debut. Should have at least scored one goal. He had a couple chances, but he didn't take them. And as we know in football, goals change games. And Leicester City, you can say they got one out of nowhere. First real bit of play in Tottenham's half. Delivered the ball to the back post. Pedro Porro asleep, or Romero, one of them. Bang! Jamie Vardy. 37 years old. Age is only a number, because he just drinks his Red Bulls and he goes. And he was on full foolishness yesterday. He was the villain, pointing at the Premier League badge. 1-0, reminding Tottenham fans he has one Prem, they have none. He has one league title, they have 2. Jamie Vardy has 50% of the league titles Tottenham Hotspur has. That is a crazy stat. How does a big club only have 2 league titles? But yeah, then Jamie Vardy again. He had the best chance in the second half. He could have won the game. He should have won the game, and that would have been excellent. They took him off because he got tired. No pre-season. I think he was playing with an injury, but he's like, boss, there's no striker. I have to play. I need to play. They took him off and he was up to no good again. He was on his villain arc, telling Romero, do one. So the game finished 1-1. And I'm going to ask everyone a question. Do Tottenham Hotspur have the worst front three in the top 8? Because to me it just stinks. Solanke, yeah, good player. Is he going to cut at the top level? Been at Chelsea, been at Liverpool. And when he was younger, didn't make the cut. So yeah, I think either them or Man United who have the worst front three in the Premier League. Because to me, this Tottenham front three absolutely stinks. So we go to the North London rivals. Arsenal 2, Wolves 0. Goals from Havertz and Bukayo Saka. So Arsenal weren't the most convincing performance, but we got the job done. Opening days, it's just about getting the job done. It doesn't really matter how you get it done. You just get it done. And I don't think there's any more debate no more. I think the debate's over whether Saka's world class, because it's only Salah that's better than him for me as a right winger. I don't know anyone else. The top 3 is probably him, Salah and Yamal. So yeah, Cole Palmer, I don't know if he plays on the right, but Yeah, him and Yamal, they've both equally had one standout season. So, but yeah, that's my view. Saka is world class. You can debate it with your friends, you can debate it with your family, but don't debate it with me. I ain't having this debate because it's clear to see he's been consistent for 3 seasons now. This is probably going to be his 4th. We know he's going to be consistent this season. He's already started. Goal and assist from Saka. What are we expecting from him this season? 30 to 40 GA? Yeah, that's probably what we'll get. In between 30 to 40 GA. And Kai Havertz, another one. My take was 25 league goals. He's got off to a start. At least 25 GA in the league. And yeah, they're both on 2. So we go again. Villa next week. A big game of the weekend. Chelsea 0, Manchester City 2. They say money can't buy you happiness. It used to buy Chelsea trophies. It used to buy their fans all the happiness in the world under Roman Abramovich. I used to hate Chelsea. Mourinho came in, back-to-back league titles, getting under Wenger's skin, and for a long period they were the dominant side in London. There was no debate. Picking up Champions leagues. But now, under this Bowley ownership, it's a disgrace. It's nothing short of a disgrace. They finished 12th and 6th. So, some might argue that's progression if you're the optimist. But they sacked the manager that got them 6th. And now they've brought in an unknown Enzo Maresca. It was Haaland and their old player Kovacic who put them to the sword against a weakened City. May we add a weakened City. Foden, Walker, Stones, no Rodri. This was a weakened City. No doubt, even Aki went there. So they were playing Rico Lewis and he had a fantastic game. They were in first gear. They hardly got out of first gear. You can't argue that. If Chelsea scored, Man City probably could have upped the levels, upped the gears. You could just tell it was just a comfortable performance. Chelsea, toothless, blunt up front. Nicholas Jackson. He was like Michael Jackson. He couldn't do anything. He had the chances once again. Didn't deliver. The story of his time at Chelsea. They need a striker. They need to go and get Victor Osimhen. I've predicted them to come 8th. Unless they get that clinical gunman, it's just going to stay the same. Cucurella. Haaland is trembling. You talk too much. Why don't you shut your mouth and focus on the football? You wound up Haaland and he bodied you. He bodied you for that first goal. Move! And he done it again. Move! Haaland is just a beast. I'm expecting him to break his goal scoring record. But this Cucurella guy, Savio, cooking him. Cooking. He turned Cucurella into tapas. Fajita. He was bodied. Maybe he'll learn to keep his mouth shut. And Kovacic. Kovacic's strike. Sanchez, we know about him. He's got biscuit wrists. His wrists are made out of biscuits. But it was a great strike by Kovacic. You You can't take it away from him. The standout midfielder on the pitch, even though Chelsea had over £280 million worth of midfield on that pitch. And the best one was the cheapest one, Romeo Lavia. Good debut from him for Chelsea. But we must talk about their captain, Enzo Racist Fernandez. This guy, he's been nothing short of a disgrace for Chelsea. He was bought for around 120 million. I don't know how much it was. We'll just say 120 million. And what's he done? What has he done? I can only name you 2 games that he's looked good. Aston Villa and Liverpool. Those are the only 2 games I can remember. And those were both last season. He's the captain. How can you make this man the captain? The French players that are on the bench, they must be wondering, why the hell does this guy keep starting? Why does he keep getting minutes? Because he just looks shocking. He's probably been Chelsea's worst midfielder. Conor Gallagher was better than this guy. Caicedo was better than this guy. You can throw Palmer in there, definitely better than this guy. Lavia already looks better than this guy. So, if he continues to play, which he will because he's the captain, I only see dark days ahead for Chelsea, even if they get a striker. Because even if with a striker, I'd say 6th is their ceiling again. And the first game of the Premier League season, Manchester United 1, Fulham 0. Joshua Zirkzee with the only goal of the game in the dying embers of the game. I think it was the 88th minute. He came on as a substitute and he saved the day. But Man United, they had so many chances in this game to put the game to bed. Bruno missing sitter after sitter. And then Garnacho missing one of 3 open goals this weekend. I can't believe he didn't score that goal. That was too easy to miss. It was too easy to miss. But Fulham had the chance 2-on-1. 2-on-1. Pereira, all he had to do was play in Iwobi, who was against Maguire. Maguire was never catching Iwobi. But I think Pereira must have thought, oh, there's my old teammate. I still play for Man United. And he passed it to Maguire. So, they lost 1-0. And that was at 0-0. So, yeah. Fulham wasted that chance. But Man United, they deserve to win. There's no argument. They looked a little bit better from a defensive standpoint. But there's still work to do. Game week 1. You just get the job done. That's all that matters. And you take it 1 game at a time. Now we go on to the 12:30 kickoff on Saturday. Ipswich 0, Liverpool 2. Goals from Salah and Jota. Ipswich back in the Premier League after God knows how long. It's got to be 20 years. The stadium was rocking. And that first half, they put in a hell of a shift. They were excellent that first half. It was a great showing from Ipswich, and they looked like they would cause a lot of teams in this league trouble. They had a good chance. Header downwards, but straight at Alisson. Amari Hutchinson, he was causing Liverpool problems in that first half. He had a breakaway, but once again, the shot, comfortable straight at Alisson. Half time came, and you just knew that Liverpool, there was going to be a response. Football, they say it's a game of 2 halves. Some say it's a cliche, but most of the times it's a reality. especially if a team like Liverpool are playing poorly. You just know once the manager gives them a rollicking at half time, they were going to come out a totally different animal. First half, Ipswich were winning all the duels. Second half, Liverpool just blitzed them. It could have been 4 or 5. Literally, chance after chance, Ipswich's goal was under siege. They were making blocks. The goalie was making saves. It was a pummeling. And they finally got the breakthrough from Jota. It was a free pass move. Trent or Van Dijk over the top to Salah. Salah to Jota. Jota to the back of the net. Great finish. Then, minutes later, the second arrives. Who other than Mo Salah, the best winger in the Premier League. He delivered. Slots it under the goalkeeper, 2-0. And the pattern of the half just continued. Blocks, saves. But Liverpool got the job done. 2-0. For those of you that said Liverpool's finished, Klopp's gone, you're forgetting. They still have Mo Salah. And while he's on the pitch, Liverpool, they always have a chance. They will always be a threat. And Ipswich, yeah, I do like Ipswich. I hope they do stay up. They've gained my admiration after this game. There's a lot more teams that I'd rather see go back down. But they were just on their knees after that first half. They put everything into it. You just knew if they didn't have something to hang on to, it was going to be a long day. Next game, 3 o'clock, Saturday. Newcastle 1, Southampton 0. Another newly promoted side. So Newcastle, went down to 10 men around the 26th minute. They were playing for 70 minutes with 10 men. But on the stroke of half time, Joe Linton scored the goal, which proved to be the decisive goal. He was the man of the match. He was basically doing two people's jobs in that midfield. He was tracking back, he was going forward, he was doing everything. Newcastle, they got absolutely pummeled in that second half. Pummeled by Southampton. But the strikers don't like to strike these days. They like to miss. And none other than Brereton Diaz. He had 2 clear chances to score. But some would say that's karma. Because that red card incident, another disgrace. It was a disgrace. He pushes Shaw. Shaw reacts, puts his head to his head. Red card. But he's fallen on the floor. He barely touched him. He was on the floor like a sniper. Like it was the Donald Trump sniper. He's a disgrace. I hope nothing but bad for him this season after that performance from him. I hate seeing players diving, getting people sent off. That's just a disgrace. And even if it was for my team, I'd silently be saying he's a disgrace. But well done. It was a feisty affair, and you just know the reverse fixture is going to be one to look out for, because there's going to be a bad taste in the Newcastle players' mouth, even though they got the win after what Brereton Diaz done. Next game, West Ham 1, Aston Villa 2. This one I was predicting it to be the game of the week, but I don't think it really was. Villa took the lead early on. Corner, Onana on his debut. Solid player, what a performance. Strong in the midfield, and he got his goal on his debut. So, Paqueta got the equaliser, a penalty. Clumsy challenge. I think it was Matty Cash. Once you commit to a challenge in the box, you're begging the referee to make a decision, and that's exactly what Matty Cash done. He brought down Thomas Souček, and then Paqueta steps up. I thought he'd miss. I saw him at Brazil, at the Copa America, missing penalties, but he stepped up, slotted it away, 1-1. You could say that was against a runner play because Villa, they were dominating that first half. Second half comes, still Villa domination. They take off Watkins 60 minutes and bring on John Duran, the player who was doing the iron sign. He thought he was moving to West Ham, but that move fell through. Apparently, he blocks Aston Villa every time he's left out the side. So no wonder they wanted to sell him. Sounds like he's got a bad attitude, but he delivered. He came on, he had a chance, he put into the side netting. West Ham didn't learn from that. They didn't see the warning signs. Next chance, Duran slots it away, and he does the typical thing. He's pointing at the badge, giving it the big one. I'm staying here for now. So Leon Bailey also had a chance in that first half. Another open goal. Not as bad as Garnacho's, but another open goal. He missed. And in the same game, Thomas Souček. Practically an open goal. Somehow he was underneath the crossbar and he put it over the bar. I don't know how. How did he do that? It was harder to do than not to do. One of my fellow coaches say they're APs against physics, because certain people do things that you can't explain. You just can't explain certain things, and that miss from Souček, that was the chance in the dying moments. 90th minute, he could have got a draw, but finished 2-1 to Aston Villa. Everton versus Brighton, 3-0 to Brighton. Everton got ripped to pieces. They were scoring disallowed goals, thinking they were going to win the game, but no. Brighton and their wingers caused absolute havoc. Whoever it was, Mitoma, Minter, Adingra. We can see they got a new manager, but it's the same Brighton, the same problem, and they caused the problem. I think it was Mitoma. He got Ashley Young sent off. Ashley Young, 39, almost 40. Father Time looks like he's catching up with him. He just said, nah, you ain't going past. Professional foul. He took one for the team, but it didn't help Everton's cause, because I think at that moment it was 1-0. Mitoma put them into the lead. Nice cross from Minter, back post, slams it home. Easy open goal. Then Danny Welbeck, he's still going. They said there's 16 seasons he scored. What a player. We gotta give him his flowers. Danny Welbeck, they just gave him all the space. The Everton defence parted like the Red Sea. Slots it home. And the third goal, Adingra. Another dangerous player, put Everton to the sword, 3-0. You just know it's going to be a long season for Everton, especially with that points deduction coming. If you're losing 3-0 at home on the opening day, you know it's worrying signs and tough times ahead. Brentford 2, Palace 1. This was a good game. goals from Mbeumo and Wissa. Crystal Palace goal was from our own goal, Ethan Pinnock. But the Cramp twins, that's what I called them, Mbeumo and Wissa. They're going to cause all the defences in this league trouble. You just know they're going to cause it trouble. And it just makes it easy to leave Ivan Toney out. He weren't there this game. Thomas Frank said it's to do with transfers, whether he's moving, whether it was him that said he doesn't want to play, I don't know. But Brentford look like they're protecting their asset because he's going for free at the end of the season. So yeah, I won't talk too much about this game. There's a reason for it. And the last game, Forest 1, Bournemouth 1. Wood and Solanke, the goal scorers. That's all the fixtures wrapped up, but it won't be complete without talking about the referees and VAR. New season, it's the same old referees, and they were up to their old tricks. They're back again, winding people up. The first one I saw was at the Liverpool game. I didn't even mention it. The player was on a yellow card. He's on a yellow card. And he makes a deliberate handball. Someone's running away from him and he grabs the ball. He almost picks it up. He scoops it with his hand. No booking. It's blatant. If something would have happened in that game and Liverpool lost, of course you can't blame the referee because it's Liverpool versus Ipswich. No one would have spoken about it. But me, I see everything. I have to speak about it. I was watching that game. The referee, Liverpool making fouls, no yellow card. Ipswich are making fouls, yellow card, yellow card. So the referee, he tried to correct his mistake by letting the Ipswich player off. But surely you're meant to learn from your mistakes. But they didn't. Because next up was the Arsenal game. Mosquera. El Fagito. What was he doing? What was he doing? He put his fingers in Jesus' bum. This should be a suspension. Surely the PGMO, whoever they are, PGMOL, whoever they are, surely they should be looking at this. Because you can't be doing this. This is sexual assault. You can't do these kind of things. And this player, he shouldn't even have been on the pitch. That is the killer. Because he strangled Kai Havertz. He put his hands on his throat and he leaned into it. He leaned into it. But the referees, they don't take accountability. No yellow card. How can you get no yellow card for a hand on the throat? And then we saw they gave a red card to Shaw just because he put his head on another man's head. But you've let a man put fingers in the bum and then you've let a man also strangle another man. I don't know what kind of BDSM business that player was dealing with. But I'm telling you now, if that was me, I won't be responsible for my actions. I wouldn't. You try to play them games with me, I won't be responsible for my actions. The third game. There's more. And this one... this one was the worst of them all. But the referee, at least he had the decency. At least he apologised. It was in the Brentford vs Crystal Palace game. Eze, a beautiful free kick. Beautiful. Probably would have won goal of the season. The referee blew the whistle. Even though a Brentford player fell on the floor. He fouled himself. He fouled himself. He blew the whistle before the ball went in the back of the net. We saw that before. It happened before. I can't remember. Someone scored but they blew the whistle. But at least that referee had the decency. But just do better, referees. Please. It's first week of the season. I don't want to see it. I don't want to see it moving forward. I don't. Please. You're spoiling the game. Why do we say we have the best league in the world, but we have the worst referees? Where do you get them from? Can anyone just be a referee? Is there a course? Surely if you make a mistake, there needs to be an intense course. It's like probation. There should be a probation period. You do a catastrophic mistake, championship or suspension. 3-match ban, like a red card. Because we don't want to see these things carrying on. That's my rant over. Now we take a look at the Premier League table. Brighton lead the way. They have the best goal difference. Arsenal, Liverpool and City. It's starting to take shape, is it? And then Villa. Interesting. Brentford, the Man United in 7th. Will they stay in 7th this season? Nah, I think they'll push up the table. We have Newcastle there. 8 winners. Only 2 draws. As we can see. Tottenham in 12th. I'd love them to stay there. And we can see the bottom. Oh, there's Chelsea. Chelsea. Boy, I'd love for them to get relegated. And Everton rock bottom after that trouncing from Brighton. But yeah, it's early days. The table doesn't really matter. After the first couple games, you gotta wait till like 10 games in or Christmas before it takes proper shape. But yeah, this has been the Premier League Roundup show. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe to the Propaganda Machine. And see you next time for the preview. Bless.